A revocable living trust, an estate planning document, whereas if you create one with the help of your lawyer, you are what's called the grantor or the trustor. They mean the same thing. What is it? The person who creates the trust. The trustor, the grantor, gives their assets to this trust to be managed by the trustee, the person who's in charge of managing the trust for the benefit of the beneficiary or the beneficiaries of the trust. So let's say you are married or single, doesn't matter, and you want to have a revocable living trust. And you went to the lawyer and they created this document, and you signed the document as the trustor, and you sign the document as a trustee because you want to be in charge of your own money. You have to fund this trust. How do you fund it? You fund it by, if you have any real property, your house, for example, there needs to be a deed that's recorded that takes it from your personal name to your name as trustee of your trust. And that's for all your parcels of real property. And when it comes to your bank accounts, your investment accounts, you also need to retitle those accounts into the name of you as the trustee. So you have to go to your bank and go to your investment, or whoever helps you with investments, and retitle all of those assets so that they're in the name of the trust. Because if you fail to do that, the trust doesn't manage them. The assets have to be within the trust. So when it comes to a revocable living trust versus a will, one of the things you're going to ask yourself is, how much work do I want to put into my estate plan? A revocable living trust is more work right now. If you are fine with that, if you say, no, I want to get it done correctly, I want to do the work right now, get the deeds recorded right now, set up everything in the trust right now, great. And then if you also say, and keep in mind that as life changes, you are going to continue to maintain this trust. If you buy a new house, it's going to be titled in the name of the trust. If you open up a new bank account, you saw that there's a bank that's paying 5% on CDs, and you go get that. Don't put it in your own name. You have to have it set in the name of the trust, because if it's not in the trust, the asset is not governed by the trust. This is the biggest problem ever as to why trusts don't work. I can't emphasize this enough, is that people get it set up correctly, they fund it correctly, and then they forget about it. Human nature. They just forget about the fact that they have to maintain this trust. And they open up a bank account, and then when they pass away, yes, the trust will handle some of the assets, whatever was properly put in the trust, but the trust has no authority over that bank account that's outside of the trust. So if you have a revocable living trust, you know that you also have a will. It's referred to as a pour-over will. You always will have a will, even if you have a revocable living trust. Why is that? I cannot tell you with accuracy the statistics. I can only tell you what I see is that more commonly than not, people who have revocable living trusts don't manage it exactly as it should have been managed. And what that means is, on their death, there's an asset that's out there. And what do you do with that asset? You need to have a probate. You need to file the will, the pour-over will, with the court. So you are now doing a probate to capture that asset that was outside of the trust, bring it through the probate process, and then have it pay to the trust. So not only did you not avoid probate, you had a probate, plus all the work of a revocable living trust, and then a trust administration upon your death. This is one of the reasons that, one of the reasons, there's others, but one of the reasons that I'm more of a fan of wills in the state of Washington and Idaho than of trusts. We'll talk about some of those reasons, but one of the key reasons is because people just don't administer them correctly. And there's going to be a probate and there's going to be a trust administration.